you guys? It's Mary.
And
we invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below, y'all, because today we are going to be talking about Darcey and Stacey, you guys. Darcey has gone out with her sister Stacey to go wedding dress shopping. And you know, for me, it just seems like
Stacey is trying to engage Darcey in some mess.
That's what it seems like.
That's what it is. Stacey,
like.
I don't think, even right now, as she sat with Darcey, you put on your dress, now you're sitting with her, want to ask about her life. Well, the day is about you, Stacey.
Yeah.
You go pick your dress, but as soon as Darcey starts talking, actually, you know, this day is about me. And I don't want to be sad. You're the one who came and sat down here with your wedding dress. I'm just here trying to be here for you.
Yeah.
Can we stop talking about my life?
You know, my thing is, I'm sure Darcey is trying to hold in whatever feeling she has. But for me, I would be annoyed as shit if you know I'm going through stuff. You also were a determining factor in the failure of my last relationship, and you keep on coming in my face to ask me what's wrong with me.
Are you fine with this? I know you're upset because you're by yourself, and I got a relationship that lasted for 8 years with my man who broke, who ain't doing nothing to help me for a year and a half. He don't got his green card. He's still brokey, not trying to work. Are you still jealous of me? No. I don't want your situation. And Darcey said, I'm not upset. I don't want this twin wedding. I thought about it. I'm doing me. I'm fine with that. And she continues to talk. Did you not hear what I said?
I know. She said, no, but you're still so, you think that we're still upset about the twin wedding. Stacey, you actually did not want the twin wedding, to be honest. Darcey suggested it, but you actually did not want it. Okay, so you go out of your way to sabotage your relationship with Georgie. If I am Darcey, and this is my honest opinion, I will literally hop back on that Georgie train. Because as far as I am concerned,
man has cut his hair, girl.
And he looks good. And my thing is, he has told Florian that he still loves her. Ooh. My thing is, this man, he had a job. He didn't go to Darcey broke. She is the one who told him, I don't want you living in Virginia. Come down to be in Connecticut with me. So he left his job, he left his home, and came there. He was looking for a job, but it was the pandemic. What did you expect him to do? Florian has been sitting on his ASS for a year and a half, has his green card in his tight-ass shirt, living off of Stacey. It's like comparing apples to vegetables. So my thing is, as far as I am concerned, if I was Stacey, I'm calling Georgie. We're making our relationship work. I'm telling my daughters, I'm not talking to I'm not talking to your granddad. I'm not talking to your aunt either.
About it, right.
Do not go and gossip about me.
Yes.
The only thing that matters is that you have a good relationship with you guys. I have determined these people are toxic in my life.
Yes.
If you want to go and gossip with them, that's fine. But I will never put Georgie in a situation with me to go see my toxic family who don't wish me well. No. I will hop back on that train, and honestly, I will probably have a small intimate wedding. If my daughters want to be there, cool. If not, that's fine too. But if he has proven to be a good man and he's treating you guys well, and you guys have just decided, oh, we're just going to not be there, then that's fine. Because I do see that sometimes her daughters actually do be joning on her and disrespecting her in public. I remember she was skating and she said, oh, you're backing up your dump truck. I was like, oh, and then they were clowning her fashion. Yeah. They're doing what the aunt does to her and what the dad does to her.
Exactly.
And that makes me feel sad, especially as a daughter, you doing that to your mom. Like, there's just certain things you just don't say about your mom. Yeah. Even if that's what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? So...
yeah, that was very, very sad.
I thought it was sad.
You know what I think? Very soon, Stacey's going to tell Darcey. She's going to say, you know something? Darcey is so sad that right now I don't even want to get married. Because I think Stacey might even be rethinking this whole thing with the whole Florian thing because the man ain't working.
She has to even call Michael. You know what's funny? Nobody knew. And I think Darcey was upset because she was like, it's funny that you are having issues with Florian and him not working. Because when Georgie was having those issues, you told everybody. It made it a big issue. She said that at the wedding shop. Ooh. She said that. So it's just funny. She's like, well, I can't even imagine. And then remember you said, well, you should be able to imagine because your man's broke. So my thing is, I honestly do believe that it's a stress for her because she even had the blue-haired guy who you can't take serious for nothing go talk to him. He cussed him out, said that in the confessional, I hate him so effing much, I just wish I could beat his head in, or whatever the hell he said. because he told him that,
You
need to
work.
get a job. He said, I can do whatever the F I like. When a married man is saying that, that's an issue. Because you can't do whatever the F you like, because you have made a commitment to me. How about that? And the whole thing is a mess. And that what I thought was very shady but interesting that Darcey said at the table when they were fighting, she said, I ain't gonna be holding no man on my back no more. As she looked at Stacey.
Is that why Stacey said that's very disrespectful?
Yeah, she said, you're very disrespectful. And she's like, okay. So stupid. I was like,
Darcey is
so fed up. I think
She's
she is seeing her clearly as she sat outside the window behind where Darcey
right.
was.
She was
this was her.
I just don't understand. We should not be talking like this. Where's Michael? Michael, he wouldn't want this. He wouldn't want this.
I can't see. Hold on.
I know those glasses are strong. Sorry.
As her lip was poking out like a duckling, I was just like, you are a degenerate.
That was too funny.
I'm like, Stacey, look, I don't know what you're going through. Obviously, you're going through something with Florian.
It is.
Darcey's
the man
going through.
is disrespectful. He's unhelpful.
He's
He does not
unemployed.
contribute.
He's
Destiny.
unemployed.
Oh my
And
god.
he is a cheetah.
He's on top of that.
So I mean.
And now, I think the only reason Florian is even going to invite Georgie because he's trying to find a way for the thing to be on Georgie and not on him.
That's what
because
I
when Georgie comes, at least then Stacey ain't gonna be thinking about him not working.
That's what I'm thinking too. Because my thing is, Georgie was like, I really like Stacey. I really like Darcey. I want to be back with her. Hopefully maybe we can be brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah.
I don't
So I don't think it's genuine. Because if you really liked him and you wanted the best for him, you would be like, yeah. Like you would be encouraging him, like, yeah, for sure. And you're like, yeah, I would love to be your brother-in-law too one day.
Because you know why?
But it's not genuine though.
You know why?
Florian is not genuine.
Because Georgie is there and working.
Yeah.
It's going to show up in Florian's face.
Yeah.
That Georgie working, you ain't working.
Yeah. Honestly, Georgie was fine as hell in my opinion. That man was cute. He was tall. He was fit. He was snatched. And he has his hair done, haircut, has highlights. I think she should go ride that surfboard, that wave, and go and get her Georgie back. And don't even involve your family. F your daddy and F your sister, as far as I'm concerned. Because they don't wish you well.
Stacey ask her to be matron of honor, but I was thinking about not doing it now.
I would go get married secretly and just go make that relationship work. The only way it's going to work is if you don't involve your family for real. And you don't, you can hang around them. You guys can go to family events and be cordial. But letting them know the intimate details of your life, I think it's a no. Especially when you have family like that. I hate to say it, but sometimes family can be your worst enemy. There are just some people, because at the end of the day, they're your family, but they're also human beings with their own issues.
And if their life is not going well,
they will not be wishing well on you, honey. Not at all. So that's what I say. I feel like she should go. I think they should work it out. I don't think that Georgie was a horrible guy. I feel Florian is worse.
I think Florian is worse than Georgie for sure.
And Georgie actually is not bad though. Georgie is not a bad guy.
Florian was worse than Georgie for sure.
My thing is, it's not even like comparing who's worse or whatever, but I just think that Georgie actually was a good guy.
Yeah.
I just felt like the whole family thing, it was just too much. And I don't think he actually knew how to handle it.
Very disrespectful to him, very disrespectful to Darcey.
But Florian went and put his whole penis in another woman and you didn't say anything.
Exactly.
What type of father are you? Let my dad sit back while my husband cheat on me and I say nothing.
I know. Like Florian, I think that Florian has been so disrespectful to Stacey, the way he talks to her. I don't even think he even actually likes her. I don't know if he actually likes Stacey.
Well, he does not like Stacey. She is a means to an end.
I thought you said he loved her. Oh, well, you talking about Georgie?
What's about Georgie? Because I was wondering why you didn't say anything when I said that. You were like,
this man likes this woman at all.
I said I think Georgie really likes to date Darcey and really is into her. That's what I felt. Florian does not like her.
I feel sorry for Darcey because she has lived with this dynamic her whole life since she probably was a child.
And she knows nothing else.
So now how do you break that in your 40s?
He better now than later because
like,
you follow this, you gonna be 80 and single with nobody looking at Stacey.
I started to kind of break some of those childhood things when I was in my late 20s.
It was a coworker who had to tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you need somebody who can open your eyes. Though.
You have to be able to break some of those things. You know, the regular way family kind of puts you in this box.
Yeah.
And then they just see you like that for your whole entire life.
Yeah.
Not recognizing that you have actually changed.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that distance from them, especially if you have opinionated family members like Darcey has.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have that separation from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a while, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And certainly not put up with, you know, when they say something to you, sometimes you got to rebuke that mess, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
The negativity that they bring your way. And if they don't want to listen to that, if they don't want to heed your boundaries that you're trying to set, then you need to let them go for a while. Remove them from your life for a while.
Absolutely.
And it can be a whole year plus, and that actually is okay.
Call it a sabbatical.
Hello.
But yeah, so I think that was our opinion on Darcey and Stacey.
I know.
Girl, go get Georgie back. That man was fine. He loved you. The issue was you being influenced by your family.
I think the way
and her
Stacey,
also being insecure, I think. I feel like she just did not believe he really liked her. I don't feel like Darcey really believes that she deserves true unconditional love.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
then
I think.
They're the friends. Oh, we love this single Darcey. Yeah, I bet they love single Darcey.
Take your drunk asses on. You alcoholics, please take yourself on. You don't wish her well.
No, they don't.
You don't. We like this. As
been...
she did some horrible twerk, you cheered her on and let her embarrass herself in public. Yeah. You don't wish her well.
I remember Georgie didn't like them.
No, they're drunkers.
And,
they're drunk.
And Darcey has a problem with Georgie not liking them.
They always sound slurred. We love this new single, Stacey.
No, Darcey. I mean, like.
My God.
I don't know, Darcey. You need therapy, and I'm happy the
It's kind of like Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac. She has all these bad people around.
I know.
So, I mean, you have a mama who will go and gossip about you so badly.
It starts from that. It starts from the parent.
I know.
Who violates your boundaries.
And no, now you don't know who really is good for you. Her sitting down there talking about Giselle and Robin are her big sisters. They don't like you
at all.
They don't like you. And then, we'll be in a quadruple if we have 50 mil. I just said, look at the illiterate. And you have master degrees, but no common sense or intuition.
Did Karen tell them that before? Well, I think she was trying to tell Wendy, but Candy.
Well, you saw what happened to Wendy. Now you're following, you're thinking, you want to be in that group so much. They don't call. Anyway.
They don't like you. Robin, Giselle. They don't like
Ashley
you.
Definitely don't like you.
I think it's from some colorist foolishness, but...
And my opinion is they are much closer to Ashley. So just like how Robin has associated beef with whoever Giselle has beef with, they also have that when it comes to Ashley. Because Ashley's actually in their group. And if Ashley don't like you, you think they like you?
I know.
From my big sisters.
Yes.
How is she acting like a big sister?
Ashley is in that group because wasn't she one of the bandits? She, Robin... And Giselle sat down and made up the stories about Chris.
I know.
To deflect from Robin having her husband, fiance.
And then they'll act like
a whole pandemic relationship.
And then they'll be acting
he was
like
lonely.
Yeah. And then they'll be acting like Karens. Why are you acting like this towards me? Like you threw the rock, and then you act like you didn't do anything. Just like a Karen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love the fact when Candace starts to cry and calls them out on their stuff.
I know. I think it's nice that she stays vulnerable.
She does stay vulnerable. She does all that with the cry that she does. Yeah.
Anyway.
Gotta learn that and be doing that.
Anyway, y'all, it's Mary.
And we already have Robin.
Yeah.
Who has taught us how to cry without tears.
Thank you, Robin.
Oh my God! I just don't understand. I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am.
No tears. No tears, but she has a
the water
sympathy.
works.
No, I actually don't.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I
Robin
mean,
from Sister Wives. Sobbing, we call her.
I hope my future husband is not watching this right now.
No, I am going to start crying at a drop of a hat, and I think we should.
I think we need to stay vulnerable and be open.
It helps you to stay
Absolutely.
in your femininity.
And you
I'm a
know,
woman, watch me cry. I also have.
I am a
feelings, and
damsel
it
in
hurts.
distress. Yes, I am. I need a big, strong man to come save me. I think the worst thing women did was not be feminine, wanting to take on this masculine role.
Why?
Cause I feel like
It's so much fun being a woman.
it's like we
All the
have
womanly
this
things.
amazing power of being a woman. Like we do so much. The fact that we have birthed a whole entire
Men don't like
society.
tears. They cannot. Any man that I have met cannot handle the tears.
Well, it makes them it like endears them to a woman. It's kind of like, oh wow. Wow. It's like that vulnerability touches them in a weird way.
Remember in
Like,
Ready to Love?
yeah.
When I think Joanne
Janika was crying and he's like, well, she cried on my shoulder, you know?
She didn't even cry.
You cried on your shoulder.
But,
But he had made some fantastic story about
because
she
was
got
so,
to me, man.
Yeah, she just got to the heartstrings.
I think men like to
And
feel like
women,
they are
we have
needed.
lost that in our whole trying to be
Feminist
equal
movements and
that.
all this stuff. We're not equal. Men and women are not equal. We were not made equal. Yes, we deserve to be treated fairly in society,
Yeah.
of course. But men are created for something and
Yeah.
women are created for something.
Hello.
And that is completely okay. The
Yes.
men and the women were meant to come together
Yes.
and create this beautiful foundation, this beautiful family.
Yes.
The man provides, the woman does her thing. And it's a huge, it's bigger than going to a 9-to-5,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
It's harder than that.
Yeah.
But we create society and we also help govern, who is in society and who
Yeah.
is a good human being and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when you take a woman out of the home and all that stuff, she gets out of her femininity and
Yeah,
out of
gets
her
out of her
divine
elements.
spirituality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like the men
Yeah.
were really put on this earth to really protect women
Yeah, and
and
provide,
just
yeah.
provide. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's
Enjoy-
part of just being a man.
We
If
do
you take
enough.
those things on,
Yeah.
you will be that, alpha man. You don't even have to go around saying you are that.
Exactly. Innately, that's how God has made all of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why am I going to say no to what God has already ordained?
Exactly.
Let me go sit myself there.
How to cry and how it looks like. Take lessons from Candace in the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Oh, and check out the Universe Guru. She's also phenomenal.
She's
Teaching
awesome.
about femininity. Because didn't
Yes,
her
I
husband
love her.
propose to her in a week or something?
I actually don't know. I know
It
that
was some
soon.
crazy number. I think it was about a week or 3 days.
Really?
I remember
Wow.
that.
But yeah, she's really good.
And she's a kept woman, honey.
Yeah, it's a kept woman.
Someone takes care of you.
Oh no.
You're cared for.
I know, but when you say kept woman, they don't. It's not not a wife. It's like a mistress.
Oh!
She's a wife.
She's a wife. She's a wife. That's not what I meant. No, that's not what I meant.
There is a very juicy romance novel called The Kept Woman by I think Susan Donovan.
See me, I don't.
That was such a book.
You and your romance novels.
Yeah,
Anyway.
The Kept Woman. Yeah, she was a mistress and then became a wife later, but it was interesting.
It's married.
And Amma.
You bet you have to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below.
Bye.
Bye.